morning, everybody. It's your girl, Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is October the 15th, 2022, and today the topic is life and death. Happy Saturday, y'all. Happy Saturday. I hope that you all had a great day yesterday. Mine was just fine. Actually, my day yesterday was pretty good. I started off the day, had a lovely breakfast with my good friend Alicia. And, after that came on home and kind of had a little bit of downtime in between. I can't remember everything I did, but probably working on different tasks. Had a conversation with Miss Summer, aka Miss Sky Designs, and everything like that. And then ended up going out last night to have dinner with my husband for his birthday, which was Thursday. And we went out and my in-laws joined us. So it was kind of like a double date. We went out and had a good time at this hot pot restaurant, which was the first time going to a place like that. And it was nice. It was nice to just, get out and do that. Unfortunately, by the time I got home, I received some bad news. I'm trying to think like how to get into it. Should I just get into it or should I tell y'all something else? It's like, okay, I think I told y'all the other morning that like how I feel like I need to take these spiritual inklings a little bit more seriously. And I was just saying that to my sister the other day. And I can't say that I know anything, right? Per se. Now I don't know if the Lord's working with me on it or whatever. But I can't say in the moment that I knew anything was going to happen. But I would just say on the way to the restaurant, there was just a couple of things that stood out to me. Me and my husband, we were just talking, just talking about life and marriage and things we were observing about, people our age and just different things. But I noticed on the way to the place, I saw at least two funeral homes. And I noticed their the cars in particular on the way. And I guess in the moment when I saw them, when I saw the second one, I kind of was like, I just saw a funeral home a minute ago, and then here's another one. That's what I kind of thought in that moment. But I just kind of let that be that or whatever the case was. And then there was a couple of moments with me and my husband, we driving and he kind of make a little sharp turn or something. I'm like, oh, husband, you out here risking it all or something like that. I had said to him, in a joking manner, commenting about his driving or whatever. But still, again, I can't say that I knew anything. I'm just saying that that's what happened on the way to the hot pot restaurant. But lo and behold, we get home and I find out that apparently one of my cousins and his wife was in an accident last night, and that they both passed. And I mean, obviously, I'm sorry to hear that news. And the main thing I just thinking about their children. I know they have several children, and I don't know how old they all are, but still, I mean, I can't help but think, again, as a mom, right? And me and my husband was just out last night and in a car and driving and getting home and all those things. And, I can't imagine, if my son was to get some news like that. You see what I'm saying? So, prayers for our family, prayers for our family, prayers for those children. And I know when I told my husband, he just was like, wow. I can't remember the exact phrase he said, but it reminds me of this phrase like life is fragile. He said something along those lines. I don't know if he used the word fragile, but he said something along those lines about like how we um not say don't value life. I wish I could remember exactly how he said it, but something along those lines of like we make light of life. Yeah, if I could think of the way he said it out, then I'll tell y'all. But if not, well, the Bible has plenty to say about life, right, and death, and everything, and so that's the inspiration for today. I mean, on one hand, my inspiration for what I studied today, basically, which is ultimately the inspiration of what I'm sharing now. Yeah, yeah. That's heavy, right? That's a lot. That's like, again, when you just think about that particular family, both parents gone in the same night is, you know, that's a lot by itself, and that, let alone the family and friends and whatnot that obviously it has an effect on. Um, on one hand, I was kind of struggling a little bit with the study this morning because I was like, well, Lord, what do you want me to say? You know, um, because if I'm completely honest, like on one hand, I mean, we grew up together, the cousin and I. Um, but I can't say that I know him, right? Or knew him or his wife like that, if that makes any sense at all. Like, does that make any sense to somebody? Like, can you be family, right? Can you be friends? Can you know someone but not really know them? Um, and and I guess the thing is, like, as I was studying, right, and as I'm reading the things I'm reading and stuff, I'm just like, well, Lord, um, I guess at the end of the day, it's although this may be the inspiration, right? This particular situation is the inspiration for me to study this particular topic this morning. Um, uh, I think the conversation is general, right? It's not specifically to, this couple. Like I said, I guess all I really have to say about the couple is that I hate to hear that this is happening. From what I saw of them on social media and whatnot, they were always together. They seem to have a lot of love for each other and their family, and everything like that. Um, but I guess I just was saying on the flip side, like it's like when we observe these type of things happening in life, um, what does that tell us that are still here? Is there anything that we can learn while we're still here? Is there anything we can do while we're still here? Um, And I guess that's where my mind was at this morning. It's like, well, again, Lord, what is it that you want me to say this morning? I would like to have some encouraging words for anybody that listens to the sound of my voice today, um, and especially if there's anyone in my hometown that, may have known these individuals a little bit better than me, you know what I mean? And you feel deep down within, I would hope that I would say something today that would be encouraging and inspiring, right? I mean, that's my prayer at least. But hey, here we go, y'all. I'm just gonna share the verses that I came across this morning, and I hope that they do that. So one of the first verses that stood out to me this morning, it's just a reminder to us about life. It's James 4:14. It says, "Yet you do not know what tomorrow will bring. What is your life? For you are a mist that appears for a little time and then vanishes." I don't know if that's good news or bad news. You know what I mean? I don't know how you receive that, anybody, that's listening to the sound of my voice. Now, I mean, I guess if you're going to look at it as good news, you know that at the end of the day, I guess now that you know this information, right, then you can live your life accordingly, right? You can seek the Lord for what it is that he wants you to do, and be in his will and his way, and things like that. You understand that, my life is not my own. I'm here for whatever period of time that the Lord allows me to be here, and I'm here to do whatever it is that the Lord wants me to do, right? But I guess on the flip side, if you're not there, right, and you're looking at this as a bad thing, you're like, wow, my life is short. I guess that's all you would get from that verse, right? That that life is short, and it's not much, right? It's missed, according to this, and it's so true. We don't know what tomorrow's going to bring. We can have all the plans in the world, and when the Lord say it's time, it's time. And that's hard, right? That's hard and heavy to even think about. Again, when I think about this particular situation, it's hard and heavy to think about that, man, these two individuals are gone, and they have left behind, the legacy of their children, but that means they're growing up without both of their parents that I'm sure loved them, and was raising them, to the best of their ability and everything like that. There's nothing like parents, you know what I'm saying? I thank God for mine every day, thank God for my, to have the relationships that I do have, now granted, again, I do know something of the loss of a parent because, my biological father, X, Y, and Z, but because I never got the opportunity to meet him, there's a loss, yes, but it's different for me, so again, I can't imagine what these children could be going through. So let's keep going, y'all. Let's keep going. Well, Romans 14:8 stood out this morning. It says, "For if we live, we live to the Lord. And if we die to the Lord. So then, whether we live or whether we die, we are the Lord's." Is that good news or bad news for you today? I don't know, y'all. I don't know. Again, for me, I guess it puts things into perspective again that, if we get this understanding in our hearts and minds, I would think that this would, you know, help us to navigate how we live life, right? How we do life, how we, live every day, even though, yeah, I take out the time to do this every day, and I think I believe that I'm on the right path, X, Y, and Z, but there's a lot of things I still procrastinate on myself, Um, I'm sure there's a lot of things I could do better, you know. Um, I may not still be fully in the will of the Lord. Um, well, I guess I'm reminded in this moment, one of the last things that I looked up. I guess I'll share it. I was thinking about sharing it in the after show, but I guess I'll share it now since I feel led to. Um, as I was writing down these verses this morning, I was noticing that the number 14 was used repeatedly as I wrote down these different verses. It was James 4:14. I just read Romans 14:8, and then the next verse has 14 in it as well. And so I looked up 14 in the Strong's Concordance, and it led me to Abal, which means be willing, and Agather Geho, which means do good. And be willing to do good is what came to me this morning as I read that. And I think this is what the Lord wants from us. If you still have another day, if you're still here, you're still breathing, God has blessed you with that. Be willing to do good with that, what God has blessed us with, because we don't know, right? And life is short. And yeah, we keep going. We keep going. First Thessalonians 4:14, it says, "For since we believe that Jesus died and rose again, even so through Jesus, God will bring with him those who have fallen asleep." Uh, and then John 11:26 says, "And everyone who lives and believes in me shall never die." Do you believe this? Do we? Do you believe this? Whoever listening to the sound of my voice. Um, Again, I share with you guys what I have been learning, I guess, over the past few weeks, and one of the things that stood out to me was that the gentleman, I think his name is Frank Turek or something like that. He was saying that, like, he's reminding people that basically God can do whatever He want to do, right? And that for those of us that believe, right, we know that death is just going from one place to another place. Um, um, yeah. But yeah, I guess the question is, do we believe that? I know all the time. I say here, I'm like, I don't know if we do believe this, because it seems like it would affect the way we live, right? It would affect the things we do if we truly believe that God can do anything and take our life and take us from here to the next, whatever. So it seems like we would be more willing, right? Like that thing was saying, be willing to do good. We'd be more willing to do good and to do God's will if we truly believe that and understood, right, how short our life is, how fragile it is, how uh, all those things that I already said. So yeah. Um, yeah, y'all, I don't know if this is juice or pulp this morning. I don't know. Uh, I do hope that what I've shared is encouraging and inspiring in some way. Um, the Go Deeper section, same thing. There's some verses that stood out to me to write in those. And so if y'all want to peruse those and let those marinate on your heart, souls, and minds today, by all means, please do. Again, if you're listening to the sound of my voice today, you are blessed. You are blessed to have lived another day. And we shouldn't take that for granted. We shouldn't take that lightly. We should, well, I guess, be about our Father's business. I know as I was writing these verses down, I was reminded of yesterday morning, right? I told y'all that I had woke up at 3:02, and the main verse that I saw when I looked up those verses yesterday was this one right here. It's Matthew 3:2. It says, "And saying, repent ye, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand." It was, quoting John the Baptist. That's what that section was doing. And again, y'all, you got another day to do that. We all have received another day to do that. Repent and understand that the kingdom of heaven is at hand, and that, again, life is short, and we don't know what the day is going to bring. And that's the juice, y'all. That's the juice. The Bible verse of today is John 1:5. It says, "And the light shineth in darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration and juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all on Monday. The Lord's will. Bye-bye. Whew, y'all. That Bible verse of today, man, I hope, man, like, I hope that this don't fall on deaf ears, and I hope that ain't accurate. That this is, "And the light shineth in the darkness, and the darkness comprehendeth it not." Y'all, let's get out of the darkness. Let's start to comprehend what the light is trying to let us know, y'all. Because I that was a young couple. I think younger than us, younger than me and my husband. A little bit younger, and again, they have a family, and the matriarch and patriarch of that family is now gone. Like, I have no idea what's going to happen to these children. The family's large, so I mean, I'm assuming that someone will, be in those positions for those kids. But I have no clue, y'all. That's a lot. And I know that people are affected by, their loss, and it's just one of those things, again, that just puts things into perspective, man. And again, like, if we hear another day and stuff, like, I'm just thankful that to see another day. I'm thankful to did another juice. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's that deep. It's that deep sometimes. Like, when we forget that, we forget how fragile life is, and we just go through and just do whatever with our life. And then, but anyway, y'all, I'm sorry, maybe y'all didn't get all my smiles today, like usual and whatnot. Like I said, it was kind of heavy for me this morning, because I felt like, again, I don't know if any of that was encouraging or not, like that, I don't know if that was bad news or something. I don't know, but hopefully, to those, again, that have the eyes and ears to hear and see, that it will be encouraging to, let us build our relationships with the Lord, y'all. And so then we don't have to be afraid, right? We don't have to worry, or we don't have to fear. And so we'll know that we'll be with the Lord regardless of what happens. And that's it, y'all. I hope y'all have a great weekend. Thank you so much for listening, watching, And thank you all for tuning in last night to the talk show as well. If you didn't, then it should be the new featured episode on godsexandlove.com. And yeah, I look forward to talking to y'all on Monday if the Lord's will. Y'all have a great weekend. Bye-bye.